I want control over my life. I want my life to be predictable in certain ways, and I want yours to be that way too. The day, you guys, that I decided to own my own narrative, to own my own story, was the day that I got to be in control of my life. And from that moment forward, I just kept creating my own story, my own narrative, if you will, and I lived out of that narrative. Ever since that day, I've had control over my life, like how much money I make, what kind of family I want to build, what kind of home, what kind of marriage that I want. I just get to tell that story and I get to live it out. Well, most of us are living someone else's story. Maybe a story, you may not even know you're doing this. I want you to write your own ticket. I want you to own your narrative and write your own ticket in your life so that you're in control. That's what I've been able to do. Here's the question. If you're in control of your own story, the life that you're going to live, why would you make that story shitty? Why would you make it a story of something like this? Oh, well, I come from a household of alcoholics, so that's the story I'm going to tell, and that's the story that I'm going to live out. Or I come from a town where no one really makes money. We're working class and no one's rich, and we suffer economically. That's a shitty story. Here's what I want to ask you. What kind of story are you telling? Are you telling the story, a heroic story of rags to riches? Are you telling a story of like a gold medal champion story? A story where you come from behind and achieve your dreams? Is it a love story? Is it a heartbreaking story? What story, what type of story are you telling? Like I said, most of us just really choose badly in our story. We just think we're living out someone else's story, some family story. And I feel like the culture, like the news media, the social media, the stuff that's coming at us, it's also telling a story that's really dark, that's really bad, that we have no control. I don't want to tell that story. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to know the story that you're telling, the one that you're living out, because you're the one in control. You're the author of your own story. I would pick a great one. I would pick one of the examples that I gave, like a great love story, like a great come from behind story, a heroic gladiator type story. That's the kind of story I would tell. And then I would begin to live into that. Today, I want you to know what type of story you're telling, and then here's the marching orders. I want you to decide today what story you're going to tell going forward. That's the marching orders. Decide today what story you're going to tell going forward. We'll see you next time.